Hello everyone, welcome back to AITech1.com. My name is Sumit, and in today's video, we will be diving into a powerful feature or for Salesforce developers and admins alike, data export in CSV format using Lightning Web Component or LWC. You might have gone through my previous videos where I have demonstrated that how can we export the data by using data loader or how can we export the data by using third-party tools. But if you are looking for an efficient way to pull out the Salesforce data directly into a CSV files without relying on third-party tools, then this tutorial is for you. I will walk you through the entire process from setting up the LWC components to generating and downloading CSV files seamlessly. Whether you need this for reporting, for analysis, or any other use case, by the end of this video, you will be able to implement CSV export functionality in your own Salesforce or with very ease methods. So let's get started and make the data handling a breeze in Salesforce. And yes, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you will never miss an update. Before I move ahead and demonstrate and give you a demonstration, give and explain you the step-by-step in functionality, let me show you an example for this. What exactly is going to we are going to implement here. So basically, I'm going to set up a Lightning Web component. As you can see, here is my Lightning Web component. And in this Lightning Web component, I have placed my Lightning Web component on my application homepage. And on this application homepage, I will be displaying you can say the list of account records from an account object. And right now I'm displaying only 10 records. And you can see we'll be getting a button here which labeled as download as CSV. So basically, this is a Lightning Web component. So let me mark it out. So basically, this is a Lightning Web component. And in this component, we'll be displaying the account records. And whenever a user click on this download as CSV button, it will download or it will export these records into CSV formatted file. And that CSV file we can save on our desktop or at a desired location. So let me show you practically. I click on download as CSV and you can see the file downloaded successfully. And when I click on open, I would be able to see the respective file. So you can see I'm able to see the results. So these are the 10 records which we export, which will be able to display here. So this is what I would like to implement in using a Lightning Web component. So let's see how do we do this. So first of all, I will be going to create one Apex class, and you can see in this Apex class, I have created a function name as get record function. So my Apex class is Apex LWC class, and in this Apex class, I have created a function name as get record function. So basically, what's the purpose of this function? I'll just write here Apex class function to get account records. So it will fetch the account records, and I just write a query, SOQL query, which will fetch the first 10 account records and store those records into account list. And finally, we'll be going to return that account list back to our Lightning Web component. So this is our Apex controller class. Now let's have a look. How do we create a Lightning Web component? So I'm going to create a Lightning Web component here. So the very first step is let's create a Lightning Web component, and I'm going to create a Lightning Web component. I just write, let's say export data, export to CSV LWC. That's the name of my component. That's the name of my component. So first of all, let me modify my meta.xml file. And in this meta.xml file, I export this to true. And let me set the targets. And I set two targets, Lightning app page and Lightning home page. So that's the target I set. Now, the very first important thing is we need to import the function. We need to import the Apex class function into our Lightning Web component. So I'm going to import this function. How do I do that? Import get record. That's a function name. Import get record. Import get record from, and we want to import it from Apex LWC class. So I just write from @Salesforce slash Apex slash LWC Apex class dot get record. Make sure that the function name will be correct. Your Apex class name and your function name will be correct. So import get record and get record function. So I have imported this get record function. Now in this JavaScript, so in this JavaScript, I've exported. Now the very first is I'm going to create properties. And the first property I will be going to create labeled as account records. And the purpose of this property is whenever this Apex class function respond back the list of record, list of account, those accounts will be going to store into account records. And as you have seen that we'll be going to display the records on a Lightning Web component using data table. So therefore, I'll just set here ACC columns in order to display the columns. And this one I set label as account name. Now to know more about how do we fetch the records from an object and display the records on a Lightning data table on a Lightning Web component, please go through my previous video, where I've explained that how do we perform the DML operations on an object by using Lightning Web component with the help of Apex class. I'll drop the link in the description below. You can check that out. Field name as name. So first, that's the first field we are going to display. And I will be going to display 4 fields: name, one for annual revenue, one for account type, and one for account industry. So this one, I label this as annual revenue, and the field API name as annual revenue. And this is the annual revenue field, this annual revenue. Next is account type, and then account industry. And as you can see here, we will be extracting ID, name, annual revenue, phone type, industry. But I would like to display only 4 columns. So that we can do. That's in our hand. That what all fields we would like to display here. So we set the columns. And here I will be using wire adapter. And why I'm using wire decorator here, the purpose of wire decorator is to call the Apex class function to get the records from an object by using Apex method with the help of wire adapter. So I'm using here @wire and get record wired account data, error. So if the function able to respond record, will be able to display that, will be able to that data will that record will get stored into data. Otherwise, the response will be stored into error. So I'll just check it out here that if data, then I would like to display these records into account records is equals to data. And else if error. So I'm using here console.log error in fetching records. Or we can use the proper toast handler messages also in order to display the messages. But I'm using here simple console.log. Now, let's get back to the HTML part, because the important thing is we have to customize into HTML. And in HTML, we will be going to design this. So on HTML, we'll display the data. So how do we display the data on HTML? I'll just write here lightning card, lightning card. I set title as account, or I'll just write here export to CSV division, lightning data table, key field is equals to ID, data is equals to, the data gets stored into which property? Account record property. Data is equals to account record property, and columns is equals to our ACC columns property. Okay, so I set the columns. And one more property I just want to set here, that hide checkbox column is equals to true. So I don't want to show the columns. Now, I just wanted to display a button. So I add another division. And in this division, I will add a lightning button, because I have shown you that while click on a button, while clicking on a button, it should start export the data. So I'll just add a lightning button, and I'll just set label as export as CSV. You can give any label you want. Variant is equals to brand. And I want to set here icon name is equals to utility download. Now, one more property I want to set here, that if the data is available in this account record, like if this account record contains the records, or when we query when we run this function, if this function does not respond any records, so that time I want to disable this button. So therefore, I'm going to use a disabled property, and this disable will be a Boolean property basically. So I'll just set here whether it is true or false. And for this, I'm just going to map it with one property called check records. This I will be going to define in JavaScript. And on click event, I just write here handle CSV download. Now, I'm going to declare this function handle CSV download, and this handle CSV download function, I define here handle CSV download. So what's the purpose of this function? Function to initiate export. That's right. So that's a function to initiate export. And the one, I just wanted to handle this check record one. And the purpose of this check record, as I've told you, that the purpose of this check record is the purpose of this check record is to check whether the record gets fetched or not. So therefore, I'm going to declare this here, and I just write here get check record, the function name. The function name is check record. I just write get check record this check record, and get check records, get check records, and we will be going to return true and false. Return this dot account record. If it is greater than 0, then it will return true, else it will return false. Else it will return false. True or false. It's going to return true or false. So it's going to return true or false. So if the record exists in this account record, it will return true. If this list contain records, it will return true, else it will return false. So that much will help us to that much will help us to display the records. So let me deploy this, and we'll see this really works or not. So yeah, this much I have successfully done. And now let me get back and modify this. So I'm going to edit this page. I will edit this page and place our component. And the component is, what's the component name? The component was export to LWC. The component name is export to LWC. Export to CSV LWC. That's the component. And you can see we'll be able to display the records. So that works perfectly fine. But now the actual implementation is going to need to be configured that implement that when we click on this button, it should work. So this was the one which I've demonstrated to you. When we click on a button, it was working perfectly fine. But now I wanted to show you that when I click on this button, it should initiate the export. And for this, we need to write the logic. We need to write the code. So we need to write logic for that. So let's get back and here the actual implementation. So when we click on this button, when user click on this button, what we wanted to do when so when user click on this button, it's we will be going to create one functionality and basically we need to create one more function, and the purpose of that function is to convert that data into CSV with the proper heading. So I'm just going to create a function and I label that function as generate CSV content, and the function takes one input data as an input. Constant headers is equals to, and what headers we would like to pass. So I just wanted to store name, comma, phone, comma, type, comma, industry headers. And constant CSV rows is equals to data dot map row, and we will be going to map this. So we'll be going to map it. And row dot name, comma, row dot annual revenue, comma, row dot type, comma, row dot industry. So basically we are mapping, and the fields will be mapped with these. It should not be phone, that should be annual revenue, my bad. Okay, annual revenue. And we need to convert into an array. So CSV array is equals to headers dot join, comma, CSV rows dot map row r is equals to r dot join, and we will map this out. CSV array. And it's going to return CSV array dot join slash n. So what we are doing basically, we will be converting to string because it's going to respond back to the string. So join all elements into an string. See this. So it is going to join all elements of an array into a string. So this get joined as a string. So now in from this handle CSV download function, we will be going to call this. So I just write constant CSV content is equals to generate this dot generate CSV content, and here I'm going to pass account records. This dot account record. So that these records will pass to the data, and this function will convert the data to CSV. So let me make a note of it. What's the purpose? So function to convert data to CSV. So this function is very important. Don't miss this function. Now we will be going to generate the link of once we get the response. So it's time to generate the link. So constant link is equals to document dot create element a link dot href is equals to data colon text slash CSV char set is equals to UTF-8 dot plus encode URI and CSV content, and link dot download. First of all, link dot target is equals to underscore blank. So it will be ready for a new one. And link dot download is equals to, and I just label this as, let's say, account underscore data dot CSV. Here we have to give the name. So this is what is this? This is a file name with extension. And don't forget to give the CSV extension, otherwise it's not going to work. Then document dot document dot body dot append child and link, and link dot click, and finally document dot body dot remove child. So once the link it gets initiated, we want to remove that. That's the complete code. That's all we have to do. And now let's test it. So I'm going to test it now. So now let me save this component and deploy this component back onto our Salesforce org. So it's deployed successfully. So let's go and test it. So I'm just switching back to my Salesforce org. Let me refresh it. So let me quickly refresh my component. So I'm just going to refresh my component. So you can see I have refreshed my page now, and now I'm going to download this. So let's see when we download this really works or not. So I click on export as CSV. This one, this one I've shown you in the beginning of my video, and this is the one which we implemented just now. So when I click on export as CSV, you can see the file get exported successfully, and see this. And when I click on open, the file get opened successfully. So that's the way we can preview this file. We can export the data by using this. That's the way we can export our data into CSV formatted file. Now, there is some issue coming up. Annual revenue type industry name is not coming up. So let me see. There might be a slight issue. So let's quickly solve that out. We are getting name, annual revenue type and industry. And here, let me check the column account name and account name. Why this is so? We are getting account name, annual revenue, account type, and account. Okay, that's fine. Here it is perfectly fine. So I need to check this out. Let's quickly figure this out. What's the problem? What's the issue? So here, when we do the mapping, there might be some slight issue with the map name, annual revenue, type, and industry. Yes. So here is the here it is. We need to quickly. Okay. So I have just solved that out. This one, the issue was I labeled it invalid. So that was the issue, but now it's working fine. So let me save this, and I'm going to deploy this. So I have deployed it successfully. And once it get deployed, As you can see, I have already exported this data and this is the final output. So now we'll be able to see the expected outcome where we can see the name, annual revenue, type, and industry to the respective columns. So that's the way we can export the data. That's the way we can export the data into a CSV file using LWC component. So that's all in this tutorial, in this video. If you like this video, you can post your comment in comment box. If you need a customized training on Salesforce, you can reach out to us on the given number. Thanks for watching. Keep coding. Have a nice day. Bye.